Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Whispering because Harper is sleeping. I'm trying not to wake her up. We are obviously home from our trip and my brain right now is on total like getting ready for the holidays mode. So I figured that I would pick up the camera, kind of walk you guys through like where my brain's at, what we're doing to prepare for the holidays. I also want to have like a little sit down chat about like how we do the holidays or like some things that I'm trying to process and like what the season's gonna look like for us, because I know that even within the Christian community, like there's many different ways that people do things, and I don't know, we can just kind of chat about it and I can show you some things that have been kind of going on around here. I've got stuff that I need to put away, so I will show you what that looks like. The kids are over here, they're watching TV, so some of this stuff I'm gonna have to go upstairs to show you or to talk about. But the other day I placed a Target order for like bins. I want to show you the sizes of bins that I ordered, because the first thing that I'm trying to process, you guys, is like, what are we gonna do with the gifts that we get, right? Like, what are we gonna do to, like, what can I do now to prepare myself or better prepare myself so that when Christmas comes, like December 26th, I don't freaking hate my life like I did last year. Like last year, I don't know, it's just always the same thing, right? Like you get all this stuff, now you're like, where do I put it? How do I organize it? So I think that we've honestly done a really good job of donating stuff and purging. Like I've been doing that over like the last couple of months. And actually I just sent Joe today to Goodwill with like donations. And still like the front of my house looks crazy because everything is boxes. And again, you're like ordering stuff and there's boxes. Like unless I'm going to the store and purchasing stuff, which I am not, then I have boxes. Just gonna try to make like a makeshift tripod situation there. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but let me show you some of the things that I bought. And then if I have time, what I would like to do is like actually go to the Playroom and see what I can do with these. But I ordered these big bins from Target, and I'll link them for you guys if you want bins. But my sister had these for some of her toys, and like they're very aesthetic, they're very nice. These don't have a lid, but I feel like they're a big size. So I don't know, maybe we put blocks in here, maybe, I don't know, that's what I need to like figure out. Somebody put a random ball in this one, but the idea is like maybe I can put them on a shelf. I think you can stack them. Sorry, maybe this is a better idea. It looks like maybe you can stack them, but again, there's no lid, but they do actually stack, yeah. Like they won't move around, but there's no lid. When I was looking for bins though, I did realize that these bins are still available. So if you missed out on like back to school, the craze that happens when these cases come out, and you want them for like manipulatives and stuff like this, you can still order them. At least when I checked like 2 nights ago, they were still there. So these are good for like a lot of our homeschool stuff, little figurines, just an idea of like ways to store toys. So anyway, I got those big bins. Then I got these smaller ones, again, just to see like what can I use this for, and if nothing works out, then I can always return it. But these do come with a lid. So this one, I can put toys or I can put something in here, and then I have an actual lid. It's just not like the kind of lid that's gonna like, you know, stay together. But is there a use for this? I don't know. That's why I want to go to my Playroom closet and find out. But I do like that they're like the, you know, completely clear and they look nice. My ultimate idea would be to like get out my Cricut and like label them and like make them look nice. That way the kids know exactly where everything goes when it's time to put stuff away. That's in my brain. Will I be able to execute that? I don't know. But just thoughts, like just trying to see what can I do so that everything has a home. And then this is the other size that I got. I'll put them all side by side so you can see. But these do have a lid. They're not as square as the first ones. They're a little bit more rectangular. But what I liked about these is that they really weren't super expensive. I think the first ones that I showed you were the most expensive out of all of them, but still not like a fortune. And honestly, it's just worth it to figure out like how you're gonna store your toys. Are you gonna just go to the thrift store and thrift some baskets? Like I would love to be able to do that, but lately when I go to the thrift store, I don't find any baskets. I got this little bin too that I thought, I don't know, again, I'm gonna go in there and play around with what can I put in here. What I do like is that the thing actually closes, and these are a little bit more aesthetic than the ones that we used to have or that we still have in the Playroom. Then this, I think, also might be a good option. This might be an option if I was like in the business of like making a bunch of sensory bins, which I'd love to be able to do that more like for Sean now that he's like getting into that kind of stuff. Maybe, I don't know if like I prepare a bunch of sensory bins and then like reach for them, or if there's, you know, something that I can store in here too, maybe little people, maybe, I don't know. But these were 2 different sizes of like this kind of bin that I picked up. So yeah, my brain is just trying to process what can we do to organize things, because I already shared on my channel, I think I did, like all of the toys that my kids play with, right? As you can see, Playroom was a freaking mess. It was a disaster. And so if I can just organize a little bit of that, here, I'll bring you into the Playroom. If I can do a little bit of that ahead of time, I feel like I'm gonna thank myself for that. This is the state of the Playroom, so you can see what I'm talking about if you didn't even watch that video. Riley made this beautiful banner. Like, the Playroom is a mess, and we still have not fully optimized this Playroom like I would want to. It's just, again, I haven't had the money to, and like the mental energy to figure out what am I gonna use these walls for. Like, I wanna use a lot more of the vertical space. We just haven't gotten there yet. So for now, things are just always thrown all over the place. But like, for example, this is like the basket where Sean has like all of his animal figurines. It's too small now for all the animal figurines. So I need to transfer all of these into some kind of bin. I also have these little magnetic cubes that the kids love to play with. And I know that they have asked for more for Christmas. So I know that like this basket isn't gonna work anymore for their stash of magnetic blocks. So knowing that, can I go ahead and find a better solution ahead of time? I think I can. This I'm so happy that we bought. This was the little rolling cart for all the Legos, even though they're still not as organized as I would have liked to see them. But at least the Legos all fit here, right? And the idea was that like each of them was gonna have their own little cabinet or drawer. But right now, it's literally just a mess. And one day, they will get to a point where they're like, hey, we want to organize them by color or put all the wheels together. But at least there's a place for them to put all the Legos. I'd be a liar if I said that there still weren't Legos on my floor, because there still are Legos on my floor, even with that. But imagine if I didn't have that, then there'd be even more Legos on my floor. So that's like a good storage solution too. You see, this is the Playroom closet at the moment. And I feel like it's not properly organized. I feel like there's a better way to store some of this stuff. And then these bins that we've had for a little while, I don't know, like the blue ones just look nicer in my opinion. We have used these like little mesh bags to store some of our toys before, and for some things it works. I just have not really found a system at the moment that I just love. So I just want to get my life in order just a little bit. Like, am I crazy for like trying to think of that? Like, this is just like, again, on top of all the other things that I'm trying to plan of Christmas presents and birthday presents and all of that. I just want to figure this out. And if you have any solutions or suggestions, feel free to share them. I know that everybody typically has opinions about toys. And I know that the number one thing that I'll get from you guys is like, throw away all the toys. You guys, I have gotten rid of so many toys. Like, please tell me if you remember the amount of toys that we had when we lived in Virginia. Please somebody tell me that you guys remember when we had our basement down there. I had like a freaking toy store. Like, we have downsized toys like crazy. But it's just like never ending. And having the 4 kids home playing all the time, like, well, 3 of them really play, but Harper still has now like baby toys. They're just always everywhere. So anyway, that has been on my mind. I figured that I would share that with you, maybe get you also in the headspace of preparing for the holidays. Just pretend that the kids are not watching their Minecraft video in the background, but also some cute things to show you guys. Do you have, like, I know like here in Miami, one of the things that the churches tend to do around this holiday time is they have like these little bazaars that they set up, and like basically like little craft shows or places where like vendors set up the stuff that they've made and like they try to sell them to people like coming in and out of church. Super cute. Like, I like to go around and to see what they have. Sometimes they have jewelry, sometimes they have like other things. But we went to one last weekend and like she was selling ornaments, you guys, and look how cute these little ornaments were. She made them from scratch, and like she was selling these for like $3. So we picked up a whole bunch, like literally $3. So we went and we supported her, and it made me so happy for like the kids' little trees that I set up for them in their rooms. I want to show you all of them because like how amazing is it that she makes them. She was like this little old lady, and that she was like selling them so cheap too. I'm sure Target has some, but like look, this is a legit nativity. I think that's amazing. Got a little Santa too. So we just like got a whole bunch of them, and when we get around to decorating their trees, now we have some new little felt ornaments. This one, she also made this minion one, which I think is what Sean wanted. It's ugly. just want that on the tree. So make sure that you're supporting, I don't know, like your little local people that are making stuff too, because sometimes it's really cute. This one I got though, it's from a different company. This one was called Bella, I think is the company. Hers were more expensive because I think they do something like they send money to Haiti or provide scholarships to people in Haiti, which was really beautiful. But I got this dove from their little booth and it was so cute. So I have to put those away because we are not quite decorating Christmas trees yet, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a little bit. This was something else that I bought, and I wish that I could tell you like where to find it, because honestly it's so beautiful. I found it at our churches, or like a church that we went to, their little gift shop. But I thought it was the most beautiful painting of Mama Mary with Jesus, because Jesus was a toddler there. Like, Jesus was not like baby Jesus. Jesus was a toddler, and look at how lovingly she's looking at Jesus. Like, it just melted my heart. So random, but I wanted to share with you because I bought it new, and I bought it literally for me as a reminder that like Jesus was also a toddler. He was also 2 years old. He was probably also driving Mom Mary insane, like, because that's the season that we're in, right? Toddler life is kicking our butts. So every time I look at it, I'm like, remember, Jesus was also Sean's age. And honestly, I think it helps a little bit. I have to take a couple things upstairs. So let me take it upstairs, show you, and then we can sit down to chat since the kids won't be around. I still have not unpacked my suitcase, you guys. I've been home for many days and I'm not there yet, but we've gone through like loads and loads of laundry. Like, I've done a lot of laundry. It's just I still have piles. So my room is still a mess. But I went to my mom's house yesterday, the day before, and she had gone to TJ Maxx, or Marshall's. It looks like Marshall's. And look what she got for Harper. Tell me that that is not the cutest outfit like that I have ever seen in my life. She's like, this poor girl, I have barely bought her anything, because really we've done a lot of hand-me-downs this time for Harper. But this was adorable. So good job to Mimi finding this for Harper. It was just too cute. So I need to wash that and put it in her closet. She also says that she was going through like her old stuff, like in her garage and stuff, and she found this Christmas ornament. It's like a Precious Moments ornament, and she gave it to me because it's from the year that I was born. It says Glide Through the Holidays Special 1990 issue. So I love when I get like vintage stuff like this, like, and stuff that's like from my childhood. I don't know, it just makes me so happy, but I haven't even opened it to see it. And watch, as I'm opening it, I'm gonna break it. But look, a Precious Moment ornament from 1990. I think it's so pretty. It's 100% not going on the kids' tree. This will have to go like very carefully up on our tree. Sorry, the lighting in my room is just awful, so sorry for that. But when I was looking at the box here, it says that it's from a place called Berries, and I've never heard of a place called Berries. And it also said that it was $38. Can you guys read that? Berries, $38. Like, I don't even know that I would pay $38 for this now. In 1990, that was probably a freaking fortune. So yeah, I don't know what was up with people in Precious Moments. Like, people really spent a lot of money on this stuff. Like, I guess that was the thing back then. The other thing that I have to wash and put away for Harper though is my friend the other day, she's so funny. She texted me. She's like, would you mind if I bought Harper Rose this? It's from Goodwill. She showed me a picture of this in her cart while she was shopping at Goodwill. And I was like, absolutely not. I wouldn't mind. Like, I would love that. Look what she found for Harper at the thrift store. It is the cutest little jean jacket. And I'm sure she paid like pennies for it. And so that's why I always tell you not to sleep on the thrift store. Like, I don't care that this came from the thrift store. To me, this looks exactly the same as had I gone to Marshall's or Target and bought it and taken off the tag. So just a reminder that whether or not like the budget is tight, I think that we need to just bring back like going to the thrift store and seeing something and being like, wow, this is something that I think my mom would like, or this is something that my sister would like, or this is something that would look cute on my nephew. Like, I did that the other day for Grayson. I saw something there that he's like obsessed with Toy Story. And so I found him the cutest Christmas sweater, and I told my sister, like, I know that it's from Goodwill or whatever, but like, I want to give this to him. And she was so happy to receive it. But like, who the heck cares? So yeah, I thought I would share those with you because like really it made me smile, both of those little outfits. They're so cute. Okay, so now I think that this is officially going to be like my chatty corner in my room, even though I'm sure that it's just, again, the lighting here is horrible, but otherwise I can't talk to you guys about this stuff. So holidays are fast approaching, and one of the things that we've been talking a lot about in my circles, like in my friends, in our book club, all of that is like, how do people do the holidays? And I feel like every year it always comes up, like, especially, by the way, like if you're watching this with kids, like put it away, like, because I'm going to talk about stuff that I want kids to hear about. But there's always a conversation of like, you know, does Santa visit your house? Is there a Santa? Is there no Santa? What's the focus of Christmas? And all of that. It comes up every year. So right now, where we have landed, again, we are Catholic, and so we do things a little bit differently, but the main thing, like number one thing, is that we want to keep Jesus at the center of Christmas, because obviously that is what we are celebrating. We are celebrating Jesus' birth. We are celebrating that he is the greatest gift that has ever been given, and that he loves us so much, and we're so excited that it's Jesus' birthday. And I think that we've done that pretty well in the past, in the sense that, like, we always go to church. Like, I grew up going to Nochebuena, like mass, like Christmas Eve mass, which is fine too, like if you go to Christmas Eve mass. But Joe and I have chosen in the last couple of years to go to mass on Christmas Day, just because it's his birthday. I'm still not even sure if we're gonna do that this year, but number one, like, we always go to church. But we do, and we have always done Santa. And so we have always, in our house, what happens is Santa leaves some gifts, and then the kids also know that mom and dad buy them gifts. So it's kind of like we get both, because when I was growing up, I don't know if this is the same or if it's like just a Cuban thing or what the deal is, but when I was growing up, every single gift that was under the tree was from Santa. My parents didn't buy me anything, and I didn't care. I wasn't like, oh, you didn't buy me anything. I was happy that I got gifts, and everything was from Santa. And so Santa was a big deal back then. I feel like we're slowly transitioning, though, like, away from Santa. And we're slowly, like, as the years go by, we are starting to have, like, the emphasis be more on, like, you know, the fact that it is Jesus' birthday, and we're slowly, like, when we mention Santa, it's more of an emphasis on, like, Saint Nicholas, because we do like to teach our kids about Saint Nicholas and the fact that Saint Nicholas was a real person, and, like, where that whole Santa, like, that feeling of Santa or that spirit of Santa, where that came from. But right now, like, Santa still does visit our house, but we kind of equate Santa with, like, more so Saint Nicholas. And I've had the kids watch VeggieTales. Like, there's a VeggieTales episode on Saint Nicholas. I bought a couple books this year, which I'll share with you guys after when I'm done talking. Like, I'll share my little book haul of, like, the Christmas books that we're gonna read. But I bought some more, like, Saint Nicholas books. So I don't know, like, Riley is 8, and I know that eventually, you know, things kind of phase out of that. We're just doing it a little bit, like, slower, I think, than, like, from the beginning doing, like, a hard cut, like, there is no Santa. Now, I've been recently, like, reflecting on, like, is that how we're always gonna do it? I'm not sure. Like, again, I have the 2 big kids, but I also have 2 little kids. So really, like, now is when I can also decide, like, what am I gonna do for Sean and for Harper? So it's not the kind of thing, at least in my opinion, where, like, just because you started doing something one year, like, you've got to carry that out until you're done having kids. Like, I think that there's room for growth and reflection and figuring out what you want to do as a family. So we're still, again, like, just kind of figuring out what that looks like. All of that to say that here in our house, what we tend to do and what I want to continue incorporating for many years to come is focusing on the Advent season, which Advent is December 1st through December 24th. So the whole month of December, it's not for us Christmas yet. It is the waiting until Christmas. It's like that anticipatory feeling before Christmas. And it's beautiful in its own way, because it's like everything leading up till Jesus's birth. And then in the Catholic Church, like, there are several weeks following Christmas Day that are actually Christmas. So it's kind of like you're waiting for Jesus to be born, and then bam, it's Christmas, and then we have, like, a party for many weeks after, if that makes any sense. So one of the things that I try to figure out is, like, how can I incorporate that spirit into our home? Some people like to say, like, we're not decorating at all until Christmas, or until Christmas Eve, like, we're not decorating. Some people have, like, more of those, like, hard cut traditions, and none of it is, like, I was talking to my sister about it, like, none of it is, like, a salvation issue. Like, it's not like the church says you cannot decorate until Christmas, or, like, you're a bad person if you decide to decorate. Like, none of it is, like, a rule, or none of it is, like, you shouldn't do this. It's just, like, what some people who try to follow more of, like, the liturgical calendar tend to do, and, like, traditions that ultimately the goal of them is to get you to focus on Jesus. Like that's the whole point of liturgical living, is like trying to follow the seasons of the church so that you can be present in the current season and have it like point back to Jesus. So with Advent, I've been trying to think of like, what do we want to do? And so we are going to do things like, we'll put out a tree, but we're not going to do full on decorations like right away. It'll kind of be like a slow roll for us. So that's why like you might see my house, it's not super decorated for Christmas. And like, first of all, it's fine because I'm filming this video, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. So slow your roll, people who are already decorating. But it is hard, like as somebody who's online or as somebody who's creating holiday content or whatever, because like it kind of benefits me to have my tree out, to be able to make content and stuff. And it's kind of hard to do that. Like when I don't know how a Christmas tree up, somebody's waking up, just staring into my soul. Hi, you wanna say hi? And you wanna say hi to your friends? She's just gonna give you a steak eye. So that is what we'll be focusing on, is Advent. I have a devotional that I need to find. I'm not even buying a new one, but there will be a devotional that I find from previous years. Man, I'm all sweaty. Sorry. I think for me, most importantly, is Advent is supposed to be a period of time where there's a little bit more silence and there's a little bit more reflection. And again, it's like a season of waiting. So there is this like, we're just kind of waiting quietly for Jesus to come, for Jesus to be born. And it is so hard to do that as a mom. It is so hard to do that in the season of life that I am in. And it's one of the reasons why I feel like things have just been so crazy and chaotic, and there's been a lot of stress, because I don't have quiet moments. I don't have quiet moments to reflect and to pray. And not even that I don't have the moments, because truly, I'm sure I could find moments. It's, if I'm being real, it's like I'm just not prioritizing those quiet moments, right? Because I have quiet moments to scroll on my phone. I'm not prioritizing correctly. So this Advent season, I hope to be more intentional about just sitting with the Lord, reading through my devotional, opening up the Bible. Even if it's just like 5 minutes of silence in the morning, like I want to do that, and I know that I need to do that. So that for me is going to be a big part of Advent. And throughout the month of December, I hope to do like some fun things with the kids. But like I was telling you guys on Instagram today, like I think the best thing that we can do during this season is to like come to terms, like put it in your brain, come to terms with the fact that you're going to miss out on stuff. Like I don't like to miss out on stuff. I am very much like a FOMO kind of person. I see all the pretty things and I'm like, I want myself to have them. I want to do those things. I want my kids to have them because I love my kids, right? And I'm like, oh, I want them to have like fun memories, whatever. But like, just understand, get it in your brain that you cannot do them all. And I think that's why a lot of us find ourselves like going through the season and then being like disappointed or sad throughout the season, because you see what everybody else is doing, and everyone else is doing all the things and going on all the trips and doing all of the Advent calendar-y things where they have something that they do every single day. And I don't know, like there's just like, there's a lot of pressure, right? Like that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, because like, let's be real, like most of the time it's like us as moms that are like the magic makers, right? Like that's a term that's thrown around there. Like a lot of it falls on us. And during the holidays, it's a lot of pressure to be like, my kid needs to do 24 unique activities or I suck as a mother. Like you don't suck as a mother. Like you bake cookies with your kid one time in the holiday season. Like you are thriving. And I don't know when we got to this idea that during the holiday season, you literally had to do every single thing, or just because your friend or your kid's friend is doing something like that, that means automatically that you have to do it. So that's just like something that also I've been trying to reflect on, like what are the top things that I want to do with the kids? Like I do want to bake some kind of cookies. Riley likes crafts, so I'm thinking of buying just like a bunch of craft supplies. And if we have moments throughout the day, like we're home, you know, so a lot of that kind of stuff we can do as like our homeschool for the day. Like art today is we're going to make gingerbread little houses out of construction boxes or whatever. Like we can come up with some things like that that we can do. But if we don't go and take pictures with Santa, that's okay. I don't think we took pictures of Santa last year or the year before. Like, that's honestly one of the things that we don't really prioritize. If we can't make it to any other event, then that's fine too. Like, just trying to make, I don't know, the bar a little bit lower in that sense, so that we can actually enjoy the stuff that we are able to do. And I look back on, because remember, I have filmed most of my life here with kids. Like, I have filmed a lot of holiday content, and I have filmed Christmas Eves and Christmas days, and the things that I treasure the most, honestly, are the times when I've been like at the kitchen table with the kids, and we have literally just been decorating cookies or decorating a gingerbread house. It hasn't been anything fancy. Like, it's like, hey, I went and I bought this $5 thing from Target and we did it together and we laughed about it, and that's it. And it's like those quiet, intentional moments that, like, those are like the good memories, if that again makes sense. I'm just here rambling to you guys. But something else that I was thinking about too was all of the Christmas shopping, right? And all of the purchasing of gifts and stuff. Like, I think it's so much harder for us these days. Like, maybe easier because there's convenience, there's Amazon, you can press a button, fine. But it's harder because we see like all of the options that exist for all of the things we could possibly buy our children, right? And there are so many things. And then we feel like, now we've got to narrow it down. Now we've got to narrow down the list. Like, now we've got to like perfect this list. Like, what if I pick this toy that is not as good as that other toy? And like, what if this one is cheaper here, but I could get a better deal over here? And it's this constant, like, trying to figure out the perfect things to buy the kids. And like that's insanity. Like, it takes you all month sometimes. It's like a full-time job as like a Christmas shopping strategizer. Like, what is that? Like, we were talking with at book club the other day with some moms that are much older, and so like they've done Christmas shopping for years of their kids, and one of them was like saying something to the effect of like, I remember where like we just would go to the store, and like we had one weekend and we would go to the store, and like if I found you something great, and then if I didn't, then I guess you're not getting a gift. Like, that was kind of the attitude. Or you used to have like one catalog to choose from, right? Like one catalog, like the kind of catalogs that you'd like write like what you want to order on the back and like mail it in an envelope. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? But like, you had one catalog to choose from. You would pick the thing that you like for that person and you would send it, and then you would get it. And like, it was very simple in that sense. And I feel like we have just overcomplicated things. At least I'm speaking for myself. So I think that's why there's just a lot more stress around gifts and gift giving, and making sure again that your kid has the perfect Christmas morning. Like, what if we just said like, hey, I'm gonna spend whatever, 50 bucks or 100 bucks or whatever the situation is. I'm gonna go one day and I'm gonna find 5 things that I think my kid's gonna like, or I'm gonna go to Five Below and I'm gonna find whatever the case is, right? Like, we're just gonna go shop one day. I'm gonna pick out 5 things that they like, and if they like them, great. And if they don't, then okay, then they'll get something for their birthday or for Easter or whatever. Maybe there's some people that's more of the attitude. If you're one of those people, please let me know. But I know that in the past, like, that's like a cycle that I'm trying to break, because I just can't do this for 4 kids for the rest of my life. I cannot. And again, as I dive more into my faith, it's like, that's not the point of Christmas. The point of Christmas is the spirit of generosity, and is of, you know, again, focusing on Jesus. But it's like that joy that we're supposed to feel, not, sorry, Harper is trying to eat my hair. Can you not try to eat my hair? Why are you doing that to your mommy? That's not nice. Yeah, as I dive deeper again into my faith, into what the reason for Christmas is in the first place, a lot of it just seems more superficial anyway. And it becomes more like, I don't know, like, I understand this, right? Like, I understand that I don't need presents. Honestly, I do not need presents for Christmas. I'm the kind of person that I will happily tell you, don't buy me anything, because like, I don't need anything. And when I need something, I go out and I buy it. So don't stress about me for Christmas. But it's like trying to teach that to my kids without completely taking away that joy that kids tend to have, you know, around Christmas time. Like, I still want them to be kids, and I want them to be excited and happy that it's Christmas time, but how do I teach them that in a way that makes sense for us now, and that makes sense for where we're at in our spiritual life? And I feel like it would be easier if I was, again, if I just had Harper and Sean, because Like I haven't like set up these expectations for the other two, but since the other two are older, like there's things that we've already done and that now I'm trying to like tone it back, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like I'm trying to take some steps back from things and maybe shift traditions or shift things that we do, and it's just a little harder because they are older, and now it's more of like that conversation of like, well, why did we not do this year? Like, why are we changing things? These are all just things that, you know, I'm just trying to figure out in my brain. I don't know if that is helpful to anyone at all, or if you guys were just literally my virtual brain dump right now, but just know that there's a lot of things that, you know, we have to think about as moms during the holiday season. And if you're struggling to figure out what you're gonna do, or if you're struggling with a concept, or you're struggling with this idea of like, hey, it's the holidays and I'm not enjoying any of it, and why am I not enjoying any of it? What can I do to make it more enjoyable? Maybe something here, maybe you can take something away from it. But you're not alone. You're not alone, because it is a little challenging. Are you a happy girl? She is a happy girl. I have more that I want to say, and I want to show you those Christmas books. So let me do that. Oh, and by the way, I did keep this shirt that most of you guys told me to return. I didn't listen, okay? And it's comfy, especially when I'm at home. Do I really love how it looks? Maybe not, but it's comfy, and I just decided to keep it. Okay, one thing I didn't mention, these are all the Advent books, but one thing I didn't mention is that during Advent, we are going to be doing, so what we do for homeschool is we don't do like actual school in the month of December. So like I'm not doing their history. We might do some like maybe light math and reading. We're obviously gonna be reading, but like we take the month of December kind of off the normal stuff we do. Instead, I bought a curriculum, I think it's from Brighter Day Press. It's not Catholic, but it's Christian. And it's like a little unit study for Advent specifically. So I'm thinking that we're gonna do that, and it looks cute. It looks like they're gonna focus on the Nutcracker and Van Gogh and like other just stuff, Christ-based, faith-based, a lot of scripture reading. I haven't looked through it enough, but I bought it, and that's what I'm thinking that I'm gonna do for the month of December for school. I imagine that you could do it with your kids, even if you don't homeschool, if you want something to, again, just be a little bit more intentional during the holiday season. Maybe that helps. I'll try to link it down below. But these are some books that I ordered because we do have some Christmas books already. But again, when I started having kids, we did a lot of more secular Christmas books. Again, we weren't this far along in our faith journey. So like when we started having kids, every book was like just, you know, The Grinch, How He Stole Christmas, Instruction Site, that series, like Christmas. Not that there's anything wrong with those books, like, you know, How to Give a Mouse a Cookie Christmas, like just very more secular books that just aren't as faith-based for the Christmas time, and that's fine. So we have those. It's not like I got rid of them. I still have them, and we'll take those out to keep reading during Christmas. But I wanted more books that focused on the nativity, that focused on Jesus being born. So I found a whole bunch of them, and I figured I'll just show you what they are. I have not read through all of them, but a lot of them, just like flipping through the pages, a lot of them just look like they all point to Jesus being born. So this one, The Room for Little One, and these are also, some of them are shorter, like this is a short little Tommy DePaola book, which I love all of his books. But this one is like cute. The birds are watching like Mary riding on the donkey. Whole story of like the nativity from the bird's perspective. So it's really cute. They see the angels, they see the shepherds, they see, I think even the wise men come, maybe not, but whatever. Point is Jesus is there and he is born. So yes, some of them are shorter, but then some of them are like actual long, more like story books. So these might take a little longer to get through, but my kids are at the age where now we can get more into like more like classical literature, and like since this is what we're gonna do for school anyway, we can do this throughout the day. So this one is The Christmas Blessings, one-of-a-kind nativity story about the love that brings us together, and it's got like a bunch of the animals. If you want to let me know if you have any of these or if any of these are your favorites, feel free to let me know. The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree, The Night Tree. This is one of the St. Nicholas ones that I picked up. I also got The Crippled Lamb. I just follow a bunch of people on Instagram that are more like classical literature based, or a lot of like homeschooling families that are Christian, and some of them are Catholic. So I'm sure that most of these will be good. But this one in particular is Catholic. I love this book. I mean, I didn't know it was Catholic when I bought it. Like, look how pretty this picture was. When I saw it, I was like, this is so nice. Like, this is like the first page of the book, right? Like, they're going to mass on Christmas Eve, and it's really pretty. And then they do this cute tradition where they hide Jesus in the morning, and then one of the kids has to find Jesus, and that's like the first gift. Very cute book. So this one will hopefully be a hit with the kids. I got this one, Jesus and Saint Nick, to hopefully, again, explain that whole deal. The Legend of Saint Nicholas, and then Song of the Stars. This one was like on every single like book recommended list for like Christmas books and stuff. So I want to read this one. This is a classic, The Midden. And what I like is that it's a board book, so like Sean won't completely ruin this. Like, some of the books were nice hardcover and like big books, but I'm glad that some of them were smaller for the little kids. I got The Story of Holly and Ivy, The Legend of the Poinsettia, which also is a Tommy de Paola book, which has really beautiful artwork. And then I got The Nutcracker, which again is a classic. And this one will be good for our homeschooling curriculum, the Advent curriculum. So if you need some book ideas, I hope that that is helpful. I didn't count how many exactly we have. I'm sure between this and the books that we have in the garage, I'm sure I have 24 books. But again, some people do the whole, I'm gonna wrap one and I'm gonna open up one every day. If you wanna do that, fine. I'm just not gonna wrap them. I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'm just gonna have a stack in a bin, in a basket of books, and then the kids know that at minimum we need to read one of them per day. And the idea is not that it's like the stressful thing that I have to check off of my to-do list. It's like an invitation for us to just be together and to make memories reading these books. And then maybe we read one of the books and there's like an idea of a craft that comes from it. Like, giving myself space to do that, I think, is going to set us up for just having a less stressful time of year. Look, let me show you guys quickly. My garage, it's been so hard to just like hide stuff that I've been buying just because there's no space, but this is something else that I bought for the kids that we're gonna do sometime during December. So I bought each of the big kids a nativity set so that we can do that as like a craft, right? So each of them can paint the nativity. And then the other thing that I bought for each of them, every year we do, like if we can, we do an advent calendar, and the kids really love that. So I got them each whatever, this advent calendar, which they will very much appreciate. Honestly, it's just something that they traditionally do with Joe, and it's like Joe and the kid time. Like, they love that with him. So each of them has one of those. And then I also bought a Christmas Carol so that we can listen to it on the Yodo player. Now, some people like to do that of like presenting the kids with like a box of activities or special things for the holiday season. Some people will do that at the beginning of December. Like, here's a box of activities and things to make the holiday season special, and they'll put like their Christmas jammies in there and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know that I'm gonna do that just yet, and I don't think I did that last year. I was just like, hey, here's your advent calendar, you can start with day one. But I haven't even gotten Christmas pajamas, and if I do, great. If I don't, that's okay. If you guys watched my thrift video the other day, like I told you guys that when I went to the thrift store, they had a whole section of Christmas stuff. So they had a bunch of Christmas PJs, Christmas sweaters. So maybe that's the kind of thing that you look at the thrift store for, because you can probably find some really good stuff without having to spend a fortune. So just an idea. But yes, the kids do look forward to every year the advent calendars. And like I said, like that's just something that they like to do with Joe. And then really this is what's stressing me out, right? Like the boxes of things that have been purchased, because we have nowhere to put them, right? And so I'm constantly like ordering stuff, stacking it here, then I forget what I ordered, I forget like where stuff is. So I need to get a little bit more organized in that sense of like, this is where I'm keeping stuff for, you know, child A, and this is where I'm keeping stuff for child B, because I obviously have to still hide it, but I also like I need for myself, like I need to be able to see what the heck I got, because I think that's one of the reasons why I end up overspending every year, like overbuying, is because I can't visualize like, what does this stack of stuff look like, right? Like, what does it all look like when it's displayed? And then I'm just like continuing to see stuff like on sale or whatever. So I need to do that. But again, it's the kind of thing I can't do with any of the kids. So that never happens. Okay, I've been in the playroom just trying to experiment with these bins and stuff. So I don't know. For now, I'm gonna put all of the figurines in here. And just so you know, if you happen to have like a 3-tiered cart, it seems like these bins will fit perfectly in here, which I think is honestly really great. I may keep that there. I don't know, maybe I put the basket down there and Sean can like pick a few. I don't know. Again, this is part of the process, like laying stuff out, seeing if it's actually gonna work, if it's gonna be practical. But what I'm looking for is like practical, but also doesn't give me a headache when I look at it. So right now that's okay. Then I came here to where I also keep a couple things, and like I put all of the Bluey figurines in here because I know that he asked for a couple more for Christmas. So I feel like this might be a good size for all of the Bluey figurines if he were to get more. And then same here, these are all the like calico critters and like little woodsies kind of stuff that Riley likes to play with. So this to me looks a little bit better. And then here in the playroom, what I did was I used some of these bins to like, I think one of our new categories is gonna be Duplo blocks. So I put one of the sets that we have in here, and I just want them to be like easy to play with. So I think I like the idea of having some of this stuff in these. That way, if I am like, okay, Sean, let's play with Duplo blocks, I can take this whole thing out, lay it on the floor, and like it can actually get played with. Because I think what happens is sometimes when stuff is in these bins and they're like higher up, I don't know, like we just don't grab them as often. I think that these containers work well for like stuff that I'm gonna store up here, and like this is kind of stuff that we rotate through fine. But I think that the bottom of our closet needs to be a little bit more accessible. So I think Duplos will be a category. This, I put like all of our little Lego, not Lego, Play-Doh accessories, I guess you would call them. Like all the stuff to play with Play-Doh in here because it was in like a gallon-sized Ziploc. This obviously looks way better, like all of this stuff here. And then I've got another bin with the actual Play-Doh. Maybe I do something different with this, but it happens often that the kids want to play with Play-Doh, so they can take this out and then reach for a couple of like the actual things that gets used a ton in this house. I don't know. And then this one, I'm not sure what we're gonna put in here, but I feel like if we had another category of things, we can put them in there. And we will see. I was working with Riley here because we've been organizing our drawers, and I found a use for this little bin. We used to have all of our stickers just like thrown in here. Then we tried putting them in like a big Ziploc, but then like the kids would never put it back. So I thought that this would be a good place to put all of our stickers. That way if the kids want to do stickers, they take out this whole bin and then they can just easily like throw them back in here. And I think that that might be a better solution. This is like shallow enough that it's like perfect for like papers and artwork and stuff. And then it fits in the drawer like this. And then I have like sticker pads here, and I have like some of their coloring books. So I think that might actually work. So again, it's kind of nice to have some bins and stuff so I could go figuring out what is gonna work with our drawers. And just so you can see, this is like another one of the ones that we organized today. We've got a bunch of like art supplies that we put here on our bottom drawer. And then up top, this is where they have like all of their writing stuff. Dry erase markers, crayons, some more markers. Just got a bunch of markers. And then glues and glue sticks. So this was looking like absolute garbage. So we went and we organized it today, which was good. Okay, it is later and the kids are outside with Joe. But I have been very productive today, you guys. I have spent most of my day going through the homeschool cabinet and like just trying to reconfigure things, putting stuff upstairs. It didn't belong here. I was able to use the little, look, let me show you. The little bin, I put, like I had one of those Young, Wild, and Friedman Play-Doh sets, and it was just like this huge box. So I just took all the little toys that were in it, and then if Sean wants to play Play-Doh, again, I could just take this superhero themed one out and then grab a thing of Play-Doh and be like, here you go, here's an activity. So I liked that. I think I might do that for a couple other ones that I have, but for now I'm just using this. All these Target little pencil cases, like I use them so much here in our homeschool cabinets because they're perfect for all the like little activities. This is magnets, these are like blocks. So anyway, I'm feeling very good about my life right now. I'm very pleased.